For some of the most pivotal years of my life, tears were tucked back and hidden behind a masquerade of being tough, being a warrior, someone who could hustle, work hard, and get things done. But it wasn't until I started to get more in tune with who I really am that things took off in my business. Welcome to I Might Cry, a podcast exploring how heart, mind, body, and spirit are all deeply woven into the way we do business. With guest interviews from experts in business strategy, therapy, emotional intelligence, the human body, and so much more. I'm your host, Elizabeth Marks of Almond Leaf Studios. I've been capturing luxury weddings around the globe for decades and now have the privilege of educating others on how to build and grow profitable business doing what they love. I'm on a journey of self-discovery, of becoming more of the uniquely beautiful, messy, and complex human that I was created to be, and I want to invite you to do the same. Join me on this adventure of uncovering the walls we've built that keep us stuck in patterns of limitation so that we can journey into living life with arms and hearts wide open. Let's venture into this together. You get to let it be easy. You get to let it be fun. Business does not have to mean that you are tied to this identity of hustle, of power, of force, of driving. You can allow yourself to be tender, to be loved, to be soft and gentle, and you still get to have all that you desire. On today's episode of I Might Cry, I really just want to riff and rant about some of the things that are on my heart as I've moved into celebrating all the good that is coming for everyone in the art of booking. Oh, we've been in launch mode, and reliving my story has literally brought me to tears. Just remembering just how hard it was when we were in that rock bottom place. If you haven't heard my story, you can go check out a live or a replay on a masterclass called Path to Profit. I share a lot more of my story there, but the very short and simple version is that we went from a thriving business, a business that was totally meeting all of our needs, had already hit six figures and beyond. And, there was a lot of hustle. There was a lot of burnout. There was a lack of strategy, a lack of workflows in that season of life. But we hit six figures and we were doing just fine. So we went from that to total, what felt like failure. Yeah, what felt like the business collapsing. I mean, we literally had conversations with trusted friends where we were asking, like, should we just give up? Should we throw in the towel? This business that has supported me for 10, 12 years already at that point. Like, should I just give up on this dream? It felt too hard. It felt too intense. We were so dysregulated, totally in a trauma response of fight or flight. Every day was a new version, right? I mean, I remember being at Target, having a cart full of like just the essentials, like not even like the fun, playful stuff, like just simply like diapers and wipes and food, and getting there and my card being declined, and then the next card being declined, and the next card being declined, and all of them just saying insufficient funds or maxed out. I mean, it was so humbling. I even have a lot of emotions even bubbling up now, just remembering that, like picturing that, going back to that. There's still healing happening for that part of me, for those moments in my life. There was a lot of shame wrapped up around that season. I felt not enough. I felt like I was working so hard, always striving, always hustling, always like trying to power through or muscle through when I didn't have the energy to give. I mean, I was describing this last night to David when we were talking about somebody in the mastermind that I host where she's in that season now. And I was like, I remember what it is like. I know what that feeling is like, where you feel like you are swimming so hard, trying to survive, trying to keep everything and everyone afloat, and it feels like there's no way out. I know what that place is like. And just reflecting of how far I've come and how different life is for me today. I mean, I am just overjoyed and elated. Like, I truly cannot believe life gets to be this good. That it gets to feel this good. It gets to be this easy and fun, that I get to be so well supported that I often take my work hours to go do things like go to the salt cave with a friend here in Asheville, to get a facial. Like, I never imagined I would be this person, and never imagined that not only would I give myself the permission to take the time to do that and the resources, the financial resources to do that, but that I could actually say, hey, you know what? I actually have plenty of time in my work week this week. So why don't I just spend my work hours doing that? So that time doesn't come away from my family, or from my workouts, or from reading, relaxing with my husband, from date nights. Like, I don't have to steal that time away from those things. I can actually just use work time because my business is so efficient. I'm so well supported in my business with the systems and the strategies, and my clients just like get the best experience because it's not dependent on me physically showing up. My clients, their experience of Almond Leaf Studios is never affected when like life happens and I can't do it, because I have a team around me and we have systems and strategies and support in place. So even if that does happen for one of them, we all know how to step in and pick up the slack and make sure the clients are getting the best experience. So when I've been thinking about reliving that bit of a story and noticing a lot of commonalities, noticing similarities of where people are that come into my programs, that come into my coaching with one-on-one coaching, or maybe a group coaching program, or maybe it's tapping into profit and you're changing the patterns of the way that you think and feel and believe about money and about abundance, and shifting from a place of scarcity into believing that the universe is abundant. Like, whatever it is, and however you come into my world and you come into this beautiful, sacred, like glorious place that is my coaching community, I'm just over here feeling so honored and so humbled and so grateful that I get to share this with you, that I get to walk you through what my journey has been like, and helping you to see that you get to skip those heartaches now. You get to skip the hard moments. You get to skip all of the lessons I had to learn the hard way, because you're choosing to invest in yourself. You're choosing to invest in being supported. That's where it all began for me. All of it, every bit of all this shift out of that place of overwhelm, of fatigue, of burnout, of scarcity, like literally not knowing if we were going to have to file bankruptcy and sell everything we own, back into a place of total abundance where we honestly have plenty. And we've had seasons where we have more money in the bank than we know what to do with. And that is triggering too, in a very different way. And that's the thing, is I want you to shift into that. I mean, there's always stuff coming up, right? Like, we always have things that we have to work through, but I want you to shift out of a place of like the struggle and the addiction to needing things to be hard, like the identity of being the struggling artist, the person that knows how to work hard and hustle. And I want to shift us all collectively out of that. Like, no more, please. Can we just be done with that? Shifting out of that and into a place of believing that the world is abundant. That there is so much available to you at all times. That you are not wrong for desiring the things that you desire them because they were meant for you, that you literally cannot dream too big, that you cannot desire too much. How beautiful would this world be if we all held those beliefs? If we lived from that place of believing that the world was abundant, how different would this world be if we were filled with divine love and compassion and deep knowingness that we are worthy, and deserving, that the world is not out to get us, that there is so much available to each of us. And so as I relive a little taste of my journey and am invited into a deeper level of healing in that journey, just remembering and witnessing and loving compassionately that part of me, that season of my life, and that season of my life that honestly roots all the way back to my childhood, deep, deep scarcity, all the way in my childhood. When I get to be invited into healing that another layer deeper, I wanted you to come along. I wanted to invite you into this. I wanted to invite you into my heart, into like all that I'm feeling and thinking and believing and how things have shifted. I wanted you to see behind the scenes of like, this is how good it gets to be. And if it gets to be this good for me, it gets to be this good for you too. I'm not just magic. I didn't just like win the lottery or stumble on like some magic potion. If I get to shift out of that, you do too. So take the risk, invest in yourself, get yourself supported, and get yourself a coach, get yourself a mentor, get somebody in your corner to cheer you on, to help you see, hey, there's a pitfall over there. You're going down a pattern that will send you into a spiral of shame. Don't do it. Let's interrupt that pattern now. Let's pivot and go this way instead. Find somebody that you can tuck in your corner to support you, to love you, to challenge you, to encourage you, to celebrate with you when things are so good that you hardly know how to handle all the goodness in your life. Somebody that can hold space for you when you need to come undone. When you know, like the world feels like it's falling apart and I don't see a way out and I am overwhelmed and stressed out, find someone that can hold that space for you. If you've never experienced that, get into one of my programs. My group coaching programs are incredible. If group coaching does not feel safe for you, then inquire about one-on-one. Start with a 90-minute session. Start with one session. Just try it on for size and see how it feels. I'm so convinced of this work and of how it's impacted my life and how I now get to see it impact other people's lives that I will never go without a coach again. That is just plain and simple. I know the power of this work. So if you are in a season of life where it's not feeling easy, it's not feeling peaceful, you have a hard time believing that what I'm saying is even true, that like maybe I'm making this up or somehow, I mean, hopefully my tears probably show you that it's real. But if you're in a season where things feel hard and this doesn't feel possible for you, and it feels like you've got stories of beliefs that sure, that must be nice and it's great for you, but it's not possible for me. It's never going to happen for me. Reach out. DM me. Take a risk. Or maybe even play a game with the universe. Maybe just like set the intention. Hey, I want to invest in a coaching program. I want to invest in being coach. I want to invest in having my own personal coach. I want to get into finding profit and peace. I want to get into the art of booking, into tapping into profit, whatever it is that you want to get into. Like all of them are so juicy and amazing in such different, unique ways. Get yourself into one. If you don't have the cash right now on hand, if you cannot say yes to that commitment for yourself, play a game with the universe. Set the intention. Ask for the money to just show up. Tap on it. Do a tapping every night. If you don't know how to do tapping, you don't know where to start with that, DM me and I'll hook you up with not just like a podcast episode that will explain what tapping is and how it works, but also like, here's some free tappings to get you started. Play a game and see how the money just shows up, because this world is beautiful and infinite, and it is so abundant that what you desire in your life, what you dream up, it's never too big. It's never too much. You are never too much. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. If you're looking for more, you can find me at elizabeth-marks.com, elizabeth-marx.com, or find me on Instagram at elizabethmarks.coaching. Remember, you are enough. You are love, you are light, and you are worthy simply because you exist.